Closed captioning for the Casey Malone Show is sponsored by Hunter Stevens Land Title Agency. Integrity, service, and commitment you can trust.
Oh yeah, Casey Malone is serving up local. It's time for the stories of our region, the tastes, the sights, the sounds, and the people in and around the valley. Get ready for some local flavor on the Casey Malone Show.
Today I pay a visit to local artist Chris Yambar at the Soap Gallery. And we visit the Woodcutters Group at the Senior Center. But first, Christmas memories at the Arms Museum. Well, we're here at the Arms Family Museum for memories of Christmas past. Now, we've been here before, but each and every year, the designs change. Anthony Warelio works building and grounds for the Mahoning Valley Historical Society, but you are a self-proclaimed Christmas nut, huh?
Christmas nut. They
You
call
are
me the
all
Christmas
about
architect. Yes.
So you help design these displays each and every year.
Yes, for the last 8 years. This is the 8th year. Every year it's been different.
And you're a collector, and you're also kind of an authority on the periods for Christmas decor.
Correct, yes.
And it's the 140th anniversary of the Mahoning Valley Historical Society. So in honor of that,
We decorated the house in Olive's honor as she left the house to the Historical Society for that purpose to house the Mahoning Valley History, which is located on the second floor. But the first floor remains the same as Olive left it in 1960.
you know, we're starting in the entranceway.
Correct. This is the reception area here, and behind us is the Ingle Nook. This is where Mrs. Arms would have greeted her guest. She would have, her butler would have answered the door, seated the guest here. Around the seating area, they may have left their calling card there, and then Olive would have come down from the second floor, greeted her guests, and then they would have went into the dining room. Here on one of Mrs. Arms' buffet is some of the original Christmas cards that Hearn Wilford received during their period at the Arms home here. Also on the table here is a very rare German candy container. It's 28 inches tall. There's probably maybe a couple dozen that exist.
So we're in the library now, and I see that a lot of the decorations really are more natural.
They are. It's period to when Mrs. Arms lived here, and the style of the house, which is arts and crafts, and it's a more natural look and handmade items. So we have gilded magnolia leaves on the mantle, beautiful swag there.
I wanted to learn more about these feather trees because they are very valuable and I mean very collectible, aren't they?
They are. The feather trees were made to actually preserve the live trees back in the 1900s. So the Germans came up with a way to dye feathers, actual feathers, green, red, blue, white, and they wrap them around a piece of wire, and as you wrap it around, it's glued to the wire, and then as the feather is wrapped, it kind of opens up to represent the needles of a pine tree.
Now the solarium was not enclosed when the Arms lived here.
Correct.
This was an open porch?
This was an open porch originally when the house was built, and then later on Mrs. Arms enclosed it and built a back porch onto the house. So you know, in this room this year, we're featuring Mrs. Arms' original artwork. She was an artist herself. She studied in New York. There's watercolors, pencil drawings, and so forth throughout the room, along with Wilford's model ship collection.
Well, of course, Olive and Wilford needed a place to sit.
Of course,
in this cramped house. So this was the sitting room.
This is the sitting room.
And this is probably the most comfortable room in the house, don't you think?
It is for a few reasons. It's very cozy in here, and also it overlooks Mrs. Arms' gardens that she would have had here at one time.
And I love the carving in the hearthstone. Around these hearthstones, speak no evil word of anyone. Now this is much more colorful with the blues and the silvers, the peacocks, and what year are we looking at here in decor style?
Well, again, it's probably one of the earliest eras in the 1910-1920 era. We're featuring Mrs. Arms china and sterling. She has some wonderful sterling pieces. We have displayed on the table place settings with her fine china, glassware.
Now, who polishes the silver?
I did it this year, and it was quite a workout.
I bet it is. Well, the heart of the house would be the butler's pantry, right? Because this is where all the serving and preparation for entertaining goes.
Behind us is the butler's pantry, or the cook's pantry, I'm sorry. And this window would have opened up and they would have carried, handed the food through. It may have sat here to be then brought into the dining room.
And after every tour, the best thing to do is hit the gift shop. I don't care where you go, what museum, it's always fun. But this one, you really have a lot of true vintage ornaments in that for sale.
We do.
Look at
we
this
have
little elf on the shelf.
the popular elf on the
aesthetic.
shelf. These are all vintage that are really offered at a great price.
And they all benefit, and they all
benefit the Historical Society. We want people to, go home and feel good and
Take a memory
home.
from
This
the
is
past.
truly a gem for Youngstown. Please come out and support it. The home is wonderful. The decorations are wonderful, and it really will warm your heart. It'll make your holiday. I guarantee it.
We'll be right back with more local flavor. Well, this is for you, Phil. Happy anniversary!
Cheers.
4 years at the tree. So what have we learned?
It's been a great journey. What we have learned is that people want to come to celebrate here at Magic Tree. We have these beautiful signs for every occasion, and for my wife and I over the last 4 years, to be able to do what we've done for the community with fundraisers has been very dear to our heart.
And what do you see coming up in the future?
Well, we have a huge building. We have incredibly good craft beer, incredibly good food we make from scratch, and our wine on tap. We have something for everybody here at Magic Tree Pub and Eatery. I want everyone to come down and let us create a memory for them.
That's right. And I love that they have the trays to go. Party, pick it up, take it to the office, take it at home, and you can party at the tree no matter
That's
where
right.
you are. Congratulations. Good
Cheers.
job.
Part of growing up in Youngstown is growing up with Rowley Brothers Markets. Even friends who have moved out of town come to shop and say hi when they're home for a visit.
And my family has always shopped at Rowley's, and today they are still my favorite grocery store. My recipes depend on the best ingredients, and that's why I get them at Rowley's, where you'll always find the freshest food at the best prices.
Rowley Brothers is a proud sponsor of the Casey Malone Show. The quality that customers have come to expect is true local flavor.
Hurry into a Spitzer location near you to enjoy the lowest prices of the year on some of our best-selling 2016 models. You can save thousands on your new vehicle with the Spitzer Model Year-End Sales Event. Spitzer, saving you more since 1904.
Four for $5 till 6. Happy hour at Sadie's Place inside the Best Western, Route 46, Austintown.
'Tis the season of Christmas. Santa knows where to shop. Kamara Jewelers is his favorite stop.
They have gifts for all, from the young to the old. The elves wrap gifts of pearls, diamonds, and gold.
The Kamara family keeps Christmas real, and Santa loves getting the best deal. Kamara Jewelers treats everyone right.
Merry Christmas to you and to all a good night.
Get real, get Kamara. Ho, 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 ho.
Thursday mornings, the Senior Center of Mahoning County hosts the Woodcarvers. It is a great group that shares their knowledge and techniques. Best of all, you don't have to be a senior to learn the art of woodworking. The youngest member of the Woodcarvers group is Scott Cross. He is homeschooled. He comes here every Thursday with his grandfather, Mike DeLucia. And Scott, how long have you been coming here?
2 years.
And I'll tell you, I'm looking at some of your work. It's really good.
We saw this at Mill Creek Park and we decided to come. And we thought it might be nice to learn.
So what are you making right now?
I am making a duck for my friend.
I love this owl. You know, that's what my father used to collect owls. Whenever I see an owl, I think of my dad. Mike is Scott's grandfather, and you both started at the same time.
Yes, we started 2 years ago, November. It's almost exactly 2 years ago.
Now, whose skills do you think have gotten better over the last 2 years, yours or Scott's?
You know, he's great. He's great. He knocks out a lot of pieces, and they're good, I'll tell you.
Well, I love this piece that you did here. Look at that.
I drew a picture in high school. I was 17 years old, and I tried to copy that.
The relief, I mean, there's a lot of detail there. Now, do you also use the basswood?
No, not this wood here. This is poplar.
Ray DeBonis from Canfield comes every Thursday, and you're working on Christmas gifts for all your daughters and daughters-in-law?
Yes, I am. We do that every year, make them a Santa for my wife and the gals of the family. Yeah.
And how did you get started in woodworking?
Well, we were on vacation one time and wanted to stop at a duck decoy factory in Maryland, and I wanted to buy a finished decoy, and my wife said, no, buy one of these kits. So I bought a kit, and then that's what led me to start to make my own decoys.
So you'll start with just a block, like with your bird there, and then it just, you want it to be that high, that wide, and then you just dig away.
Well, you can buy a blueprint. I bought a blueprint for that one, so I have the size, because that's an actual size of an Atlantic puffin. And so you try to, get the size. Or some of the ducks, since they're so big, you can make them 3/4 size.
Al Kokenauer is from Struthers. Now, how long have you been carving?
Well, I'm 82. I've been carving since I was 53.
Really? So before retirement, you took up this hobby?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And why do you like carving?
Well, it's just an excuse for old men to play with sharp knives. In fact, I forgot about this. I've got an actual size Tommy gun at home. And I'd have brought it in, but if the cops would have caught me, I might have ended up in jail.
It's that realistic looking, huh?
Dead, yeah.
John Hacker is from Hubbard, and you use peach pits.
Yes.
How did you start using, why peach pits?
Well, when I was young, one of my friends, his father used to carve monkeys. And I thought it was pretty cool, and I started carving them.
What kind of knife do you have to use? Because this is a much harder substance, isn't it, other than the basswood?
Case pocket knife. It destroys the blades on a carving knife.
So you're working on, you already have See No Evil.
See no evil, hear no evil. We're going to have Speak No Evil.
I love the little turtle. And what do you do? Do you have a huge collection at home?
No, I give them away.
Do you eat a lot of peaches?
Not really. I got a bag of peach seeds at home you wouldn't believe.
Augie Angel, you also use the basswood, correct?
Yes.
And look at this. Look at Egghead. I love him.
Right.
How long have you been carving?
I started around, I retired as a school teacher, and I started carving about 2000, and I've been coming here ever since. I met the people at the Canfield Fair, and that got me started.
What do you do with the pieces when you're done with them?
Well, right now I'm working on Christmas, so I got to do 12 ornaments to pass out to the ladies in the family.
Lamar Benton has been woodworking for quite a while, and these are his gorgeous rocking horses. How long have you been involved with woodworking?
Actually, I've been involved with woodworking since my junior high school days, which is quite a while ago, and I was also a contestant in the Soapbox Derby in Warren, Ohio. I was fortunate enough to win that race in 1963, so that gives you an idea of how old I am. I was 15 at the time, and the Derby actually helped me a great deal in terms of learning how to work with equipment. Actually, I'm semi-retired. I actually do what's known as point-of-purchase advertising. I'm still one of the old-school lettering artists, and if you see most of the lettering at the dealerships in this area, especially new car dealerships, the hand lettering that you actually see on the windows, the professional lettering, that's me.
John Grantonic even carved his own woodworking box. Look at this custom. How long have you been doing wood?
Oh, I've been doing wood off and on for probably 12, 15 years. I've always liked to work with wood. I used to be a journeyman carpenter there for about 8 years. Then I decided to go into sales. But I have my own woodworking shop at home. I've got all the equipment that I need for it. and it's my therapy.
Alex, you also like to work with smaller pieces?
Yes.
Except for this guy, he's a little bigger than that.
Well, we're going to do.
How long have you been carving?
Oh, a long time. I don't know, 10, 15 years.
And why do you enjoy the wood carving?
Oh, it's so much fun.
Well, Eugene Bennett, you seem to like to do a lot with birds and any other, just the birds?
Well, occasionally a frog, maybe. The snow owl.
That is really beautiful. Owls remind me of my dad. He used to collect them.
Oh, did?
Yeah, they're beautiful. Nick Kitchikoff. He is the mad Bulgarian amongst us. And wow, you have got some fantastic work here.
Oh, thank you.
How long have you been woodworking?
About 50 years.
Oh, so you've always done this as a hobby on the side, or is...
In my late 20s when I started, yeah.
And why do you think you've taken to it so well? Because the attention to detail is amazing.
Well, I used to like to draw,
Mm-hmm.
you know, but I don't know, it's just something that I enjoy doing.
John, how long have you been doing the woodworking?
I just started about 4 years ago.
And yours is very smooth. And what do you use?
It's called a braid net.
Mm-hmm.
And it lasts a long time, and I've got different types of sanding stuff to get into crevices and whatnot. Yeah, I tend to, I like a smoother finish.
Now, did you know how to do the woodworking, or did you learn it when you started taking these courses?
I've been doing this for about 15 years. So I moved here from Pennsylvania about 5 years ago and then joined this group.
You really enjoy it?
We have fun. It's a nice group.
Well, you really do some beautiful things. For 15 years, I mean, this looks like, journeyman stuff here.
Thank you very much.
Well, Joe Alessi is probably the reason that I'm here. I've seen your artwork, and your wife was telling me about your wood carving classes, and that's how I got turned on to this. And you really have taken to this, haven't you?
Yes, I love it. I spend every Thursday here, and what we do is we get together, everybody does their own thing, we drink coffee and solve the world's problems, and it's very relaxing.
The Casey Malone Show will be right back with more local flavor. The perfect gift. Stonebridge Grill and Tavern, the best food in the valley. For every $50 you spend on gift cards, you get a free $10 bonus card. Stonebridge Grill and Tavern, Route 224 in Boardman, and their new location on Route 46 in Howland.
Hi everybody, I'm Danny, owner and operator of Cthulhu Prime Meats, a third-generation butcher shop that not only specializes in quality, but also in customer service and doing things in a new technological way. Chris here is our customer service manager. Chris, what do you think that we do differently than any other grocery store?
I think we personally not only offer great product, but we can offer a great customer service experience as well. We try and treat all our customers like they were family and friends, ask how their family's doing just so they can keep in touch, and give them that customer experience that they deserve.
And the nice part is we not only do that inside the store, but also on CthulhuPrimeMeats.com, where you can buy a lot of our products that we carry here, whether it be grass-fed beef, organic chicken, some of our specialty burgers and bacon. Those are wonderful, and we're going to provide that same customer experience online as we do in store.
Come see us in store or online. Make your next meal one to remember.
Cerny means trucks. For over 50 years, the Cerny family has been the area's leader for medium and heavy-duty international trucks. New or pre-owned, Cerny means trucks. Easy to find. Cerny Motors is conveniently located at Route 46 and 80. At Cerny Motors, no job is too big or too small. Cerny Motors service will keep you on the road. For service, parts, sales, lease, or rental, Cerny means trucks.
Hurry into a Spitzer location near you to enjoy the lowest prices of the year on some of our best-selling 2016 models. You can save thousands on your new vehicle with the Spitzer Model Year-End Sales Event. Spitzer, saving you more since 1904.
There's a new standard in assisted living.
One that combines comfort,
luxury, convenience, and the highest quality expert care.
Your loved ones can experience it now in Canfield's premier senior living location.
The Inn at Ironwood offers fine dining and amenities such as a concierge, salon, housekeeping, and laundry services.
And a truly elegant setting in Canfield.
Call us for more information or visit us and take a tour.
The Inn at Ironwood, Canfield's premier senior living location.
$5 Burger Mondays at Sadie's Place, inside the Best Western, Route 46, Austintown. We're here at the Soap Gallery in downtown Youngstown, and they're celebrating their first anniversary. And to celebrate, they pulled out the big guns. They have a huge exhibit here running through October with local artist Chris Yambar. And you have not exhibited, is that the right word to use? Displayed your art lately?
Yeah. Well, you know, after my 25th anniversary, I still painted, and I was still, you know, doing the comics, but I decided to take a little bit of time off and really do a reassessment of where I was going. And I was starting to have some problems with my vision, so I had to go through a reinvention process, which really worked out well. Now, instead of doing 100 paintings a year, I could do a minimum of 300, max 600. So this is 200 into the first year.
Have you always silkscreened? Are you pretty proficient in that?
For shirts, yeah, I'm a subcontractor. Yeah, I work with people who know what the hell they're doing.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, what's great is that I don't have to do any guesswork. You know, if I work and take the picture correctly, and I understand composition, light, darkness, composition. What makes an interesting photograph? If you hang around with photographers, you realize it's a real science. It's a real art form. You know, and you know. So there you go. So the camera became a tool, another tool in my box.
And then you were able to use the images from your lens, and then put them on a different medium.
Yes, absolutely. You know, and a lot of times as a pop artist, I would use found objects and images. Okay, and this opens up a whole world. Now you actually see what's in my eyes, which makes a hell of a lot of guys jealous, actually, especially with the new work that I've been doing.
Well, I'll tell you. I mean, it really is interesting. Is this all the same model?
This is all the same model. Absolutely.
And what is the theme of your show here?
Well, it's all about the strength and power of women, okay? And I work with an anonymous model. She works in the professional sector. She's not an art chick, you know what I mean? And if that doesn't sound politically correct, I don't care.
Now, this series you called Whip It?
Whip It.
Whip It Good.
Yeah, Whip It Good.
So this flogging. What is the term for that?
Well, you could be. This is because it's a nine tails. So it actually could say flogging or just whip. Just a whip it, or paddle, you know what I mean? There's a big thing on spanking, people love it, you know, but people have been very, very bad, so.
Well, there's a lot of people.
And even people that have been very, very good need it too, because you got to prepare for the future.
Now, what is the name of this collection?
This is called Attitude. And this is all attitude. I mean, we were just going to take shots of the bustier, right? But she put the hip, and I said, so you want to take a break? And she goes, well, actually, it was that little move, and I said,
that's it.
Take a break. We got the shot. And she goes, what? And I says, oh yeah. So we sat down and we got to review the shots, and she was hilarious about it. And she says, are you sure? I says, am I sure? Are you kidding me? I picked you. I says, are you kidding me? She got it, and she got it.
Before you did your art full time,
right?
What did you do?
Oh, I worked in restaurants all the time in order to. I mean, I could cook. I cook like the wind. There's no doubt about it.
I know. I've had your meatloaf.
Well, there you go. And you ought to take and do yourself a favor. Go to Casey Malone's. What do we call it?
Website.
Website. So that's how technological I am. I'm like, what's the guy's
your email machine.
The thing.
CaseyMaloneShow.com.
Put Yambar meatloaf.
You know what made you?
Well, that was always the goal. That was always the goal. I always wanted to be involved in comics, and I was involved in commercial art, you know, and that was the big thing. And I went to school for commercial art at the vocational school, and yes, I'm a college dropout. So, but if you already know what you're going to do and you know how to do it, then the only person holding you back is you. You know, real life experience is the greatest portfolio you're ever going to have. So I say if you're going to do it, become it and jump right in. I was going to get one tattoo. It's going to say Conduit Deity, and I was going to have it put on my arm. So you got to look up the words to figure out what it means.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will. I
It
do
means
not.
to channel God is what it means.
To channel God.
Yeah, it's about the power of God. Yeah.
Well, I think that.
After what I've been through, that's the only power that's worth anything.
Well,
to me.
we should talk about that.
Yeah, you know
so
what I
you
mean.
had a fall.
Yeah.
You cleaned up the cut. Then you happened to fall again.
It tore open again, and then the infection went straight to my foot.
And it is what just silent. You had no idea. You didn't have any like pain or.
There was no pain. There was no connection to my foot. But because I have moderate diabetes, it went straight to my foot because that's where everything goes.
Well, and then
when
you
you're
have less
diabetic.
feeling down there. Yes.
Yeah.
What was the process like? I mean, once you were diagnosed and on the road to being
Well, it was
mended.
tough. It was tough. I had to learn how to stand. I had to learn how to walk again. That was a real treat, because I wasn't able to be weight bearing on my foot. You know what I mean? So that was really tough. And then as a result of being bedridden, I had problems with my internal organs too. So, I mean, there were a lot of different ways to die, and I was pretty much checking them out. You know what I mean? But they left me on the machine a little too long, plus blah, blah, blah. So it also shut down the use of my kidneys. So now I do the dialysis, and we're making a hell of a lot of progress. That's just how it goes.
How was everything received? I know you opened over the past weekend.
Mm-hmm.
How was the buzz? What was the buzz?
The buzz was good. The king is back. I can't lie about it. You know what I mean? And this is just the first of one ongoing nuclear mushroom cloud after another. Because I don't believe in doing anything small. I think you go through life once, let it rip. You know what I mean? Build a bridge and then set it on fire.
My show is always on. Watch previous segments at CaseyMaloneShow.com. Sponsored by the Ingram Law Office. The Casey Malone Show is sponsored in part by Denise and John York and the DeBartolo Corporation.